You just crossed over into the female zone.
So, the last year I set out to prove that I was lovable, because I had always said I'm but not lovable. And then I found myself in a situation with somebody who was like, no, you're lovable, not like, I love you, but I don't want to you. And that didn't feel any better. I think, I'm told that I should feel better about that, but I don't. I don't really know where I go from here. Like, am I neither? Because I feel neither. I hate this.
Hold up a second, sister. You said that you went on a mission to try to find someone out there that was going to find you lovable, not bettable. And you know what? Mission accomplished. You found the guy. He says, hey, yeah, I love you. You're lovable. You're just not bettable. And all of a sudden, it's even worse. It's bad. It's horrible. You don't like it. Sister, you know what happened there? You got friend zoned. Some guy said, hey, you're an awesome chick to hang out with. I love having you as a friend. Nothing more. You basically got treated like most men get treated. So what? Now this is horrible? You can't take it? It's terrible? A person should feel like this? So you're basically admitting to the entire world that, women can't handle being treated like the average guy. In other words, women can't handle the way that women treat men. So no, it's not horrible. It's just the way things work. You found someone that you are into. You want a relationship with that person. That person gets along great with you, but they tell you, I love you as a friend. I love you as a buddy. But I don't feel an attraction here. There's no chemistry here other than us getting along and hanging out. If anything, you're starting to sound like, what is that word that you women love to use for guys who act this way? Oh yeah, incel. That's some incel speak coming out of your mouth there, sister. You may want to watch that because, as you women say, that's not the best mentality to have. Before we move on, I want to say thank you, fam, to all of my subscribers for supporting this channel. I truly appreciate all of you who leave comments, who like my videos, and share them on other social media platforms. I truly gotta say thanks, fam. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. And for those of you who haven't subscribed yet, I thank you for tuning in, and I hope you decide to hit that subscribe button. Moving on!
For any of the men that have been following me for a long time, if any of you say a word about the way that I look, okay? Men have told me that I need to take off my glasses, I'm prettier without them, that I need to stop wearing so much makeup, that I look better in certain clothing. And I'm getting to the point where I'm not going to allow any men on this page. Nobody. I will go through on a weekly basis and block any man that follows me if this continues. So I'm just making that really clear, because the guy that left that comment, and I was trying to be respectful and explain to him why that's not something that women want to hear. I felt like I was being respectful about it and just saying, hey, this is something that I don't like to hear. He responded, I didn't need all of that attitude back. Bitch, you're blocked, okay? And any man that says a thing about the way that I look and comes at me sideways, this is not your space. Don't get it twisted.
Blah, blah, blah. This is not your space. Sister, this is the internet. This ain't your space. This is a public space. This is social media. What the hell are you talking about? You're going to come at a man sideways. What, are you an enforcer now? You ain't jack. Oh, the strong independent woman can't take words. I mean, you can dish it out, but you sure as hell can't take it. Sweetie, it's called equality. Communication. Men are going to say what they're going to say. It either slides off you or it don't, and obviously it don't on you. I mean, how can you handle anything in life if you can't handle some guy telling you, hey, you know what? I think you would look better this way. You look better dressed this way. Maybe you should take off the glasses. If you can't handle that, why don't you just lock yourself in your house and just don't ever come out? It sounds to me like you have got a lot of issues, because it really seems like you are the type of woman that looks at herself in the mirror and you probably don't like something about yourself. Hell, let me rephrase that. You don't like some things about yourself. And they're pointing out the things that you don't like about yourself, and that's why it stings even more. That's why it hurts, because it's something that you're conscious about. And the way you said it, it didn't seem like they said it in a way to hurt you. They were actually just trying to help you, saying, hey, you actually would look better this way. But you don't want to hear that. Amazing how the strong independent women are always the one that are saying, I want honesty. Don't lie to me. Tell me the truth. Sweetie, as Nicholson once said, you can't handle the truth. And by the looks of it, you can't handle the internet either. Maybe you should retire before you get more of your fifis hurt. Move it on.
The reason why there will continue to be an increase in women refusing to be in relationships is because majority of men do not want to spend money on women. They are not good in bed. They are not good conversationalists. And they love to pretend like they don't know how to do anything. There is no benefit to having y'all around. And I don't want to hear about protect. That's what guns are for. At least we don't have to fuck it when we're not in the mood.
When you take vacation and you got nowhere to go, and you look at your yard and like, it's a lot of shit need to be done, this is what 52 and single look like. This is what 52 and single look like. Anybody want to rescue me? Eastern North Carolina. Come on. Come on. Because I'm tired of doing this shit. My old ass, I'm tired. I'm just kidding. I pay my own damn bills. I don't need them motherfuckers to pay my bills. But I would like y'all to do some yard work. Anyways, alright, I love y'all, bye.
So last night, I kind of sort of spent the night at this dude's house who I may have sort of just met. Okay, but the reason for this video is because I didn't have a lunch, and he literally packed me a lunch to take to work. Okay? Leftover ribs and fries that he made. I didn't even have this. He just had these leftovers in his fridge that he gave me. And he's like, oh, I put a little treat in there for you. And then, to keep my lunch cold, question mark, even though I work in an office with refrigerators and water. And he put it in this giant insulated bag.
Every weekend, without fail, my friends and I are like, let's go out to bars and let's meet people and I'm going to meet the love of my life. It's going to be amazing. And then I get there, I can't talk to anybody. The questions I ask are like, were you involved in student government in high school? Did you have a good high school experience? Where does your mom live? And how does that affect your relationship now? I can't give like a flirty hey, what are you drinking tonight? Kind of thing. It has to be like, what was the last pay you had and how did it die? I think I'm gonna be celibate forever.
Sorry. The voices.
All right, to that first queen, sweetheart, you got that twisted. Your wires are crossed there. See, it's men who don't want to be in relationships with women. Look it up. And you're saying men don't want to spend money on women? Okay, they're saving their money up. They're not good in bed? Basically because they don't care about you nothing. They just care about themselves nothing. They're bad conversation pieces. Well, do you got something interesting to say? Because men are just going to talk about interesting stuff. They pretend they don't know how to do things. Well, that's a good way around to not having you call them out every 5 minutes to do something around the house that doesn't need to be done when they want to rest on their off day. And don't talk smack about them protecting because that's what you got a gun for. Well, then keep your gun. Buy yourself a little bob, screw that all you want, and you know what? Marry that and have that pay the bills for you. How about that? Because to be honest with you, you don't seem like the type that's out there and killing it financially. Even if you did, I don't think you could pay a man to touch you. All right, to that second queen. All right, so that's what it looks like to be in your 50s and alone as a woman. Hey, you out there killing it. You slaying it. You say that you pay your own damn bills. You don't need no man. But you would like to have a man to do your yard work? You know, I'm pretty sure you would like a man to do a bunch of more things other than yard work. But the point is, what can you offer a man? I mean, you're not going to offer him a taco to crack because, I mean, that's basically roast beef. Or in this case, worn out gyro. And even if you did offer that to a man, I don't think the man's going to say, hey, you know what? This is equal to a bunch of like manual labor. He's going to think about it. He's like, no, I'm going to need some incentive along that roast beef. You know, maybe like pay my bills or something, since you're paying some other bills too. And then I'll do the yard work. The reality is, you don't seem like the best investment for a man to go in there and say, yeah, let me go out there and help you out. North Carolina, South Carolina, it don't matter what Carolina. They get out of Dodge. All right, to that third queen. Listen, sweetheart, I just got to say, you had a one-night stand and you came out with a goodie bag? Damn it, that guy gives you service and leaves you with a smile. Damn, I've heard of men like giving goodie bags, but he actually give you a whole tote bag full of good stuff. And with that smile you have on your face, obviously you're going to go back for seconds. Now take note, gentlemen. It don't take much. I mean, you can go down to the Goodwill, get one of those cheap bags, you fill it out with some Tupperware and some leftovers, and she'll come back for another trip to Pound Town. I mean, she's going to want you to wrap her around with your sheets one more time. I mean, this is an example to follow. My man here, he's got some skills. This gorilla approves. All right, to that fourth queen. You know, a much wiser man once told this gorilla that when you go out with women, you got to look in the eyes. Because there, you can see if their cray is in the eyes. It's always in the eyes. And I got to say, looking at this video right here, this is a case study. He is absolutely right. Sister, I'm going to say it right now. You really shouldn't go out with another guy ever, because this girl is going to be honest. I would be very worried for that guy. I mean, if I was that guy's mother and you were the type of girl that he brought home, I would be extremely worried. I would be very preoccupied. I would be like, okay, honey, you think you could do better than this? I mean, I'm not saying that she's missing a few screws, but I am saying that that dead stare is kind of sus, to say the least. Now, I'd like to think that this is actually a skit and she's actually trying to be funny, because if that's the case, she failed. But at least we could say there that it was all just an act and she really isn't that nutso. But somehow, some way, this girl actually thinks that part of that, if not most of that, is the reality of what's behind those eyes, because there's a darkness there that I just don't want to unpack. Moving on.
Listen, I'm about to piss off so many men, but that's okay. So I was talking to my dad, and we were talking about my dating life. And, you know, he asked me, like, where I was with everything. And I told him, look, Dad, I'm going to be straight up with you. Men are not how they used to be. And he was like, what do you mean? And I told him, I was like, you know, I had one guy, he asked me on a date, but he told me that, you know, he needed to get a new shirt so that if I could send him $50 for it. And since if he paid for it himself, then I would have to cover for dinner, since he had to buy himself a new shirt. And my dad was like, what? He was like, these are the type of men that are out there. I was like, yeah. I was like, you know, I went on a date the other day, and the guy, he just looked at the check, then looked at me, then looked back at the check, and he was like, can we go 50-50? Which is fine. I never expect a guy to pay. Whatever. If you pay, if we go out again, I'll pay the second time. I told my dad that. My dad was like, no, don't you ever pay for a check. And I was like, what? He was like, no. If a guy is interested in you, he will take care of that. Never pay for anything. And I just got to say, my daddy ain't never wrong. He ain't never wrong. So, moving forward, I'm not paying for anything. Okay.
Sweetheart, you're saying that your daddy's never wrong, and I'm glad that you are close to your dad. That is admirable. But I do have to say, it is quite possible that your dad's dating advice is about 30 to 40 years outdated. So, listen, there's a reality here. He wants the best for you, and I'm pretty sure that that was his intention with the dating advice. But I very much doubt that he understands the modern dating market. And I am 100% sure that he does not understand the dating dynamics of younger people. Everything's changed. You could thank womanism for that. 50-50 is now the norm. And I understand that you said that there's a guy who wants you to pay for everything. Maybe that's a little bit too much, but the other guy who said, hey, let's go half, that's a reality. And your dad saying, no, you gotta wait for a guy who's gonna pay for everything? Okay, today's economy is not great. Just because a guy can cover everything doesn't mean he is the best choice for you. I mean, sweetheart, I gotta say it. Are you telling me that you are willing to give up a relationship with a good guy who probably has the best intentions to take care of you, and he's got like a golden heart, he just doesn't have the money to cover everything, and he's treating you with equality? He's like, hey, let's go 50-50. Because if our relationship is going to be 50-50, it's you and me versus the world. This is how younger folk are getting together. They're starting to share the burden early. This girl, I think that's actually pretty good. It's going to prepare him for the lumps long term. But you know what? Follow your daddy's advice, and let's see how that works out for you.
Damn, skip me.
I'm just saying, if you enjoy this audit, click on the video in the end screen for more content. If you would like to support the channel, please follow the link in the description to donate to our beer fund, or like, subscribe, and share this video on other social media platforms. If you agree or disagree with anything about this audit, please let us know in the comments. I'm going to leave this audit right here. I'll see all of you in the next episode.